Hello everyone and welcome back. Today we're going to be playing Goblins in Best of One. So it is mono red, but it is obviously vastly different than what we would think of in mono red. No Heartfire hero, but we have its twin brother over here in the Scamp, as you would. This is kind of the original Heartfire hero, if you would. But it's not being played for that. It is a goblin that can do a little bit of damage. It does win us a game by doing exactly 1 damage in today's video. That's very, very cool. After we hit him for like 15 or something, this had to sacrifice to do the last one. But we're playing some new cards in the list that work incredibly well together, especially with the new max speed mechanic, and that is a Burnout Bash whatever that says, dude. I don't know. But Menace, start your engine. You can pump it as many times as you have mana, so we can give it a 1-0 multiple times if that's what it comes down to. And that becomes really relevant if we have max speed, and that makes this creature have double strike. So very quickly, we're able to pump it up to, say, like a 4-1 if we have the mana, or like even a 3-1. And then that's dealing 6 damage while with a creature that has Menace and double strike. It also can get haste from a lot of other things in our deck, being what we're going to talk about next. The Howl Squad Heavy. I just call it the Heavy throughout the video because kind of a cool name for a goblin mercenary. But it's 3 mana. Start your engines as well. Other goblins you control have haste at the beginning of combat in your turn. Make a 1/1 red goblin creature token. That token attacks this combat if able. So it's kind of reminiscent to what some of the goblins have been made in the past. It fits right there in that 3 mana kind of sanction that these kind of creatures have built. They're even playable in Legacy, which is kind of crazy. But they play it on turn 1, so it's a different scenario there. But max speed, we can add red for each goblin you control, which can give us a lot of crazy stuff, especially because this has haste for other goblins, which is where like Krenko Mob Boss comes in, a reprint, and Foundations. So we can tap this, make a ton of goblin creature tokens where X is the number of goblins we control. So a situation where we add, say, like 4 mana, we get to play this Krenko. Tap it, add 5 goblins, and all those goblins will have haste. And then if you have a Lord, which we play a few of in the Dropkick Bomber, which is a also super sick name, along with a Rundevit Horde Master. These both are Lords, so that makes those pretty good. We have the Seer Slicer Goblin to make extra tokens. We have a Dragon Fodder to play early to help make max speed happen by going a little bit wider than your opponent's expecting. And then kind of the card just getting played in not Domain, but Delirium, where we can exhaust, give our creatures haste, or we can make a dragon, which is often possible in this deck. Overall, the deck is super sweet. Final note before we hop into games, I will be going to Chicago. The intros will be kind of quick and sweet, even if they do have new cards in it, and so won't the outros. But outside of that, I'm going to try to make the videos as long as they normally are. If they happen to be a little bit shorter, that's just because I ran out of time, because I procrastinate like I'm in college still. So with that said, let's go game. Alrighty. We get to start our engine. We get to have a raid while we probably make contact on turn 1. Or I guess turn 2, not turn 1. So that's okay. Obviously, Krenko is a little bit questionable of cards, like in terms of like what our hand looks like. But we get a creature down. We get that Menace started. We get the Seer Goblin most likely attack. They'll probably play down a second creature. Like we have Abzan. That's interesting. Abzan being white, green, and black. I didn't even just go Gari. Okay. Alright. Well, if they want to block, they'll lose on Landware Elves, so thinking of our instep, we'll see if they block. I don't know if they will. Definitely could see them doing it, but they'll lose a creature doing so. We'll play this. It'll start producing creatures. We need to stop hitting lands, that's for sure. We do have a Krenko to build up the board if we do find the one that can give haste out to creatures. But they're loading up. The black is in the deck for the Adept, but unsure what anything else is going to be doing in this deck so far. I don't know. It's an interesting list. Oh, it's Insidious Roots. That makes sense. Okay. Yeah. Will they attack? Unsure. No attack. Other goblins we control have haste, which is obviously very good for us. So now what we're going to do is probably swing this and this. Well, I guess this also makes a goblin, so we might as well slam it. They do have access to like 3 mana here, so do they have removal? I don't know. Well, they allow us to make the goblin. This has to attack, so we're attacking like this. Because they can't block this unless they want to block with 2 1/1s, which they could. But at that point, that means we automatically get speed up. This is our primary goal here. We'll lose a goblin, which sucks, but we do get to play Krenko here and activate it as long as our heavy stays, so that's pretty nice. We have 5, it'll make 5, and then it'll make another one, so we're going to be able to get a big strike here. Kind of depends what our opponent does. This isn't even a drain one, is it? On turn, you may cast creature spell from your graveyard by foraging. Okay. So that's actually not even the card I thought it was at first. Ooh, very cool. I'm starting to see what the Abzan pieces are. There's a plant. Obviously, plant's good. They can't play this because they fortunately used the Blooming Marsh, but I guess they had to, right? Because of this. There'll be no attack, of course. They do have a lot of mana on the battlefield, and we keep hitting lands, which is kind of frustrating in general. We'll play Krenko. If they're not careful, or heavy will give it haste. Sure. Activate. And they just give it up with a Krenko activation. So their hand must have been nothing. I can't imagine anything else. Not answering this whenever this is on the stack. So this is going to be activated. I guess it's going to be 6 goblins that this makes. So we will have 11, and then this will make another one. So we'll have 12 attacking, which is very nice. And then they have to deal with that many creatures. And they'll have to play like a Tyvar and have quite the pop off with all these plants and stuff. But they typically have to tap a lot in order to do anything. But we take it game 1. Pretty slow hand, it feels like, but win nevertheless. So very cool. Our opponent goes first. We have creature, a way to clear the way. If not, we can just make it larger too. So we'll definitely keep this. There are hands where I'm like, man, I really wish I was just on the play for some of these. Green, white, and a land where elves. I've always been taught to bolt the bird, if you would. So we're going to torch the land where elf. It's always been referred to as bolt the bird, but it is what it is. Then, yeah, so we're against green, white. Kind of the it's either collector cage or I want to keep saying Blightsteel Colossus, but I know that's not right. The green-white Gearhulk. I can't think of its name. We'll probably see it eventually, so it won't really matter. Never mind, there's Pelucranos in play. What? Is that a Pelucranos, brother? You feeling okay? Honestly, that's kind of hot, to be honest. That's a really cool card to be playing. Let's establish this. Let's move to combat and attack. I don't think we'll see a double block, but if we do, that'd be fantastic. They do a no block, okay. Expecting to go way over the top of us, which I definitely respect. Now we have creatures that we can just keep producing every combat if able. Our burnout would be best left in play, opponent. Please don't remove it. Please don't play the Gearhulk. I would hate for you to go find 2 really, really strong, solid creatures. I would hate for you to shelter by ghost your 3 mana 4/5. Also, I haven't seen like anybody playing this. It's just kind of crazy that I'm just getting bullied by it. Can we even block? Feels like bad to block, I think. I guess it doesn't really matter if we block. Now we're in this weird spot, but I do think it's Krenko now. Might as well double attack because we'll replace the creature, even though they'll eat one, right? So, in this case, we can get more speed up if they double block, which they do. Okay. They're wanting to avoid the speed situation, which is kind of makes sense to me. Like kinda, it does make sense to me. Now we have Krenko and ways to make more and more creatures. If this Pelucranos just attacks, there is like a good chance that I double block it, because I don't think I can beat the life gain that it has if they just use it as a defender. It just feels like pretty impossible to stop. There is a scenario in which we do draw the other guy that deals damage equal to our goblins, but then we need to hit another land as well because that creature's 4 mana. I guess, I mean, we just take out the Keen Eye. Shelter by Ghost again, dude. Okay. My bad, dog. No. I guess I'm not going to beat that unless I can go so wide that our opponent just gives up. And that's literally the only out, is our opponent just kind of stops playing, I think. Play here. Maybe we'll hit some gobos. We're definitely double attacking, though. They want to get rid of this Seer Slicer Goblin. We'll still get to kind of draw a card here. Away. We need one type. Nothing else will matter. Goes up. This goes. We do hit, which is nice. I'll be okay with making a 4/4, I think. I think I'm cool with that. Is Exhaust only sorcery? No, it's only once. Okay. And haste to turn, put one counter on this creature. You activate both exhaust? Dude, what are we doing? Like, what am I playing against? Are we serious? Oh my gosh, bro. I'm just curious. Yeah, so we can activate both. Interesting. I take half my life total. Who knows? I'll probably draw the 4th Shelter by Ghost off the top. Dude, I'm so annoyed with that. That's so annoying. We pass. We have like a sneaky play because our Sanctuary is actually larger than what it seems to me. Sure. How big does it get? 1/1? Actually like a 5/5 or 4/4. Might be the only way we got out of this game is them a little bit overconfident. That's 3 Shelter by Ghost on that creature alone. And they say oops, which I fully agree with. I think we just put the game away. Sure. So, load up. Load up. Activate this ability. Activate here. I hate that it made me do it that way. I'll leave a couple creatures back. I didn't want to do the math. What a crazy game. I just attacked with like 1,000,000 creatures and it still wasn't enough. Now we have 2 creatures here. I don't think there's a scenario in which we can lose. I don't think. Besides like maybe trample. Game? What a whack game that became. Do I have haste? No. Enough? Oh, I guess I could double pump this. Okay. Yeah, sorry, brother. I had to count. These are only 7 1/1s now. So I'm actually genuinely curious if it's even lethal. I want to count. I mean, it is lethal. I just have to activate this a couple of times. But that's 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. It is like barely lethal, which is crazy. But we double activate this because it's not activated, or triple. It's only 2 mana. So we put this up to 4 power, and it has double strike now because of our max speed. So this would go up to a 4/1, and that would alone hit for 8. So, I mean, we definitely have it covered then. But, all right. So we're ready to go. I don't know what I'm supposed to play first, though. This is the only kind of thing about playing, like, different decks and stuff all the time. Is, like, kind of trying to learn, like, your curve almost. You don't need to play this first. I don't think I do play it first. I think I go with this and just make the 2 creatures just to kind of ensure that we might make contact. But I would assume this is Boros. Yeah, so temporary lockdown, get lost, things like that are all viable here. So let's start the engines. We have to make every creature a threat. Again, temporary lockdown can come ruin our day. But if I have to go against blue-black board wipes, Shelter by Ghosts, massive nonsense stuff, then so be it. I just have to beat every creature hate deck out there. I guess I'll just do that. Here's temporary lockdown. Urbrass Forge, okay. Urbrass Forge we can 100% outpace. I do know that. Maybe not the best thing ever, but I know we can do it. So I'm gonna play a 3-drop so we do dodge that kind of situation of temporary lockdown shutting us down completely. And I have this torch available so I can torch the token. Maybe a caretaker's talent will be made here. Token comes up. Obviously, I'm doing nothing to that. No, Sunfall's not possible. That's not how that math works. What do we got here? Well, that's fair. Maybe I should have taken it out. Didn't really put that one in the bag of tricks. Gross. Then they play Caretaker's Talent post this turn. Okay. Another land here. This is 2. That's 5. I can't necessarily activate that. But I can play this. Exhaust it. Pump the creature here and just hope it's enough. Even though they're probably going to Sunfall me here. I think, like, I kind of just have to hope or whatever. I just activated that because I thought it gave itself haste, and I know it doesn't. Temporary lockdown, that just absorbs everything. Yeah, I'm just moving on. Like a keepable hand, I guess. Little whack. Her name is Demir Agent. We're immediately playing, like, Actos nonsense. Sure. Get it? Okay. You can make your username and then lie to yourself. That's okay. I don't think you can name yourself Demir Agent and then just literally not play Demir. Feels illegal, you know? Feels like a scam. Attack. This hits. Drawing. Pretty so-so, I think. A little bit whack drawing our 4 mana creature here. Wow, they leveled that up and then they sacrificed it. Okay. Probably just double burst lightning them here. Seems like the play. No. The land is obviously not the best draw of all time. Consider this trace. Up to 2 on our speed. At least our speed gets started. Why are you targeting Scamp? Huh, what? I don't think I've ever seen it like target Scamp like that. That was weird. But they get to put a creature in the way, and they're probably going to hope that's enough. But we obviously, because we've hit so many lands, we're going to play an illegal jumpstart card in Standard. I think it was probably in Foundations. I actually don't know where this card came from. How it's legal. It was just like in the Goblin search bar, you know? Bobble, okay. You got 2 of them? No, they're just going to take out the Scamp. That makes sense. Face for -1. Means I heal you for 1, right? What's Nightmare? Well, I got plenty of stuff to discard, that's for sure. Oh, we draw a second one, the Vert 2. Play it, we'll pop this creature out of our way. And we'll make a little bit more of an aggressive attack. And our creatures have haste, so... Or our goblins have haste because of this, so... Yeah, seems pretty good so far. As long as he stays on the battlefield, we'll have another one as well. So if they have another Mirth or something, or a way to put like a creature to play up to 4 probably, I would assume we're losing a creature here. But looks like there's a Viper. Interesting. Sure. Creatures won't have flash, but Post Nightmare gone. They're gonna kind of scry 2. They're already manifested, I guess. Could have tried to do it the opposite way, where they would scry 2 and then manifest. This activates. I'll lose 4 life. Gas comes in. That can't block, so I don't really care. We play this. We bomb the 2/2. And we attack out because our creatures have haste. And that should be enough to cover it. One of these 4/4s hit. That's obviously lethal enough. And we get there. A little bit of stumble from them in the beginning. Allows us to kind of take off, which is obviously sometimes what you need. And we get there. So very cool. All right, we get to go first here. Very cool. We get to play this and make it larger or make more creatures. It's always like kind of weird what way we want to do that. Make them larger, to make them like to make more and then make them larger. I guess it's like if they play a removal style color set, maybe we just go for this because then that means if our creature dies, we might get access to more creatures. It kind of sticks. I'm gonna go white, I think. Red's a weird one. If it was like a blue-black land tapped, especially because most likely we'd lose our creature immediately. But if it was like a blue-black land, oh, it's Boris. Well, those seem very bad. Okay, they agreed. Bro, nice Rinse Resolve, dude. I'd like to Rinse Resolve and draw 2 cards I can't use. Oh, dude, we're gonna... Oh, what an awful draw set, too, to go with that. But we're gonna play this, and they still aren't good enough. That's actually crazy. What a game. What a game. This hand is... doo-doo, kind of. If we draw a land... Good, dude. I don't know. Draw the land forehead. But we do. Mono white, kind of. Blue white. We'll see what they are. Maze Mind Tome. Most likely artifacts now. Pause is going to be these kind of scries that they'll get. Most likely, if I see anything here, it'd be something like a temporary lockdown. So I want to kind of increase the speed as fast as possible. There also could be a weird thing where, like, if they're trying to draw off Maze Mind Tome too much, we could proliferate the trigger when we sacrifice it. To, yeah, sure, gain them for life, but they stop getting value. You know what I mean? So it's like a weird thing. But I doubt I'd do anything to it, really, regardless. Oh, didn't scry... Oh, no. I guess they didn't want to scry on the upkeep, right? Maybe it's a lockdown? I mean, if I'm them, I'm definitely willing to absorb my Maze Mind Tome to lock down my current board. I wouldn't blame them for that at all. Sometimes you just have to play a little bit of a nombo like that in order to keep up in a lot of situations. Yeah. Exactly what it is. 1 drop, please. A land. Not the worst, I guess. Play Dragon Fodder. Make 2 tokens. And then we'll play this. We'll play the Lord, and then we'll play the Seer Slicer. Second Maze Mind Tome. Maybe they'll temporarily lock down again. Smile. We'll play this so we can bring it up and attack on the following turn, if that's kind of what the turn comes up to. They don't hit a land right now. We play this Goblin. We play Seer Slicer. Now, if they're going to remove this, I'll get value regardless of what they do. Bottom. It's attacks. This will make token. Now, if it's like creature or land wrath, we at least get to draw 5 cards in a way. The Biza. Okay. Well, we can get the Biza out of the way, so we have no problem here. Creatures just don't have haste, which sucks. So, this comes in. This shoots the Biza for 5. Actually, for 6. Then we attack out. It Maze Mind Tome activate, which totally makes sense. Do I overload the board? I'm unsure. Yeah, I feel like it should. But temporary lockdown kind of gets us in a different way, right? I'm not obviously going to offer the Lord up, but I think I do. I think I just do. Want maximum pressure next turn. On the block, okay. Tokens. Again, a Wrath would be... like awful in a sense, but it'd also be good because it is going to be a draw 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. is obviously good. But we're not obviously going to be able to cast 8 cards either, so it's like, what do you do? Here's my tome number 2. That is not going to get it done. All right, well, bring this up. We attack out. Get rid of the Lord, and a lot of things happen. There could be a smite here, so maybe I'm supposed to keep the Lord back, which is tough. Soul Partition, that is what it is. We lose a lot of power on board. That's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 14, and then we'll sacrifice the Scamp for lethal. What a stupid situation. What a stupid situation. I will not proliferate it this time. I will sacrifice it, and then we'll shoot them for 1. And what a game to end on. So, yeah, very cool. Let me hop to the outro, and we'll say our goodbyes. Okay, everyone, that's going to do it for us here today. The outros are obviously going to be a lot shorter, as I feel like in terms of the video, the outros are probably the least important thing outside of explaining the stuff in the intro and the gameplay, obviously. Yeah, everything worked out well. Torch had to be cut for Burst Lightning just for the kind of energy it has in terms of getting our engines to 4 before we go to combat, which I think is a very important function of the deck. And there was also a lot of games, because we are playing a little bit more lands, that we can actually kick this and deal a bit more damage, which is nice. Or we also have, I don't believe this is restricted just to creatures. Where are you at? Hello? This guy. For each goblin you control. Yeah, so this isn't even just restricted to creatures, so we can just tap this 2/3 instead of having to deal 2 and then maybe kick the Burst Lightning and deal a bit more damage. And going directly to face when you're playing an aggro deck is always typically a better option than being a little bit more passive with something like a Torch. With that said, that's going to do it for me today. I think the deck performed pretty well, or at least overperformed in my opinion. But once again, a bit of tough craft outside the lands. This is a lot of rares. If you have them, great. Try the list out. I could see having Sear Slice Goblin and this card from like playing other versions of aggro. Other than that, it's a bit of a tough craft. I probably couldn't recommend this deck, but it has done well in a challenge on MTGO before, so that's obviously good. But with that said, it's going to do it with me, and I'll see you on the next one. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.